Performance here. Been slacking big time on updating content and keeping you guys current with what's going on with the car and reviews. So I'm gonna start knocking those out today. I did the StopTech big brake kit front and rear. The fronts are the ST40 355mm two-piece aero disc, with the ST40 being a 4-piston caliper. And then of course StopTech brake pads and stainless braided lines to go along with that. So you guys saw the install of that and the Mk7 R32 big brake kit, which is as you see in the install video, a direct bolt on. So I've put over 10,000 miles on the car since installing the ST40s, and probably another 4 since I did the rears, maybe 5. If you have another car, like a weekend car or whatever, and it doesn't have a big brake kit, that'll probably be your only downside. It'll ruin your driving experience in your other car. Switching to my dad's WRX, the brakes felt terrible, and I don't know how they'd feel compared to a regular Mk7, because I haven't hopped back in a stock Mk7 for a while. I did drive a Mk6R since doing the brakes, so I guess the R brakes wouldn't be such a drastic difference, but just the pedal feel alone is phenomenal with the solid mounted ST40s, where the stock brakes are a floating caliper, which will give you a less consistent, kind of mushy pedal feel just by design. So really no downsides at all to the 4-corner big brake kit I did. This car is a non-performance pack car, so a lot of people ask, I want big brakes, do I need big brakes? You can answer that question yourself with just one simple question: do you plan to track the car? Sure, if you go to the tail of the Dragon, or you've got some great canyon mountain roads in your area, you could definitely overheat the stock non-performance pack brakes. But for the most part, unless you're having temperature control issues where you've got brake fade or even boiling brake fluid, you probably don't need a big brake kit. Now with that said, I did all that in preparation to track my car, and I plan to do at least a few more track days in 2020 and progressively build on that, doing more each year as my kids get a little bit older and I have a little bit more free time. Theoretically, we'll see. But I did do one track day and one trip to the tail of the Dragon. The track day was with only the fronts, and the tail of the Dragon trip was with the 4-corner kit. And I didn't feel like the car was lacking with just the fronts until I drove it aggressively with all 4 corners done, which really highlighted the weak point of having the brake bias incorrect. So, not a necessity. If you don't know any better, just the fronts will get you by. It's not a terrible upset on the bias, but you can also offset that with different compound brake pads, which there's advice on that. There's websites that actually have like a calculator for setting up brake bias. You can run a little bit more aggressive pad in the rear than in the front to help offset that. It's not a big deal, but like most people, the aesthetics are also a big part of the big brake kit. You know, we're not all championship race car drivers, but we like to feel like we are, or at least look the part. So having matching larger rotors all the way around is something that most people want to do anyway. And I'll be doing another big brake kit, basically the same setup as mine, on a 2019 Rabbit edition in about a week. So we can do a follow-up video with that as well, because he'll be going from the performance pack brakes to the same thing I have, the 310mm discs in the rear and the 355s with the 4-piston calipers in the front. at the track day and at the tail of the Dragon, I could not get the car to brake fade. It was phenomenal from the first lap all the way through the last lap of my third 20-minute session. The rest of the car, I can't say held up to track abuse as well. It definitely needs some oil and coolant, heat extractors, or better heat exchangers. So that'll be an upcoming project as well. If you guys have any more questions about the brakes and what your different options are, just comment below or shoot me an email, jlbaun26@gmail.com. And I'm actually working on setting up a couple reviews and comparisons with StopTech and buybrakes.com for this summer. Planning to do a track pad versus street pad comparison on all four corners, as well as some two-piece rotors for the rear. And there's my tire pressure indication coming on. I rotated the tires right before I left for work, so need to double check those and reset it. Yeah, like I said, if you guys have any questions, comment below. I can always make another follow-up video, and see you next time.